And since I was ordering from Fair and Ball, I went ahead and got some sample pots of some colors I was thinking of for the walls in here. And they're kind of a bust, but you let me know. I'll show you and then you can tell me what you think. Okay, so the walls in our front hallway here are sort of a tragic story that happened long before we owned this house. Someone who owned the house just took a bucket of joint compound and smeared it with their hands all over the walls, which I am assuming were plaster that was cracking. And I so wish that they had just left blame well enough alone because this texture is ridiculous. It's like, it's literally someone's hand who just went smear. Other than that, we're really lucky. Not a lot was done to the house. It was sort of in a state of benign neglect, which is, here is the setting plaster next to this buff color. I don't know what it is. And then here is the pink ground. And I don't know. I guess I need to put this one closer to the trim. Hang on. I kind of like the pink ground next to the buff, sort of. Not really feeling this one at all, the setting plaster. It's interesting, my instinct from looking at it online was that I didn't care for the setting plaster, but I really wanted to like it. Just based on the description, it sounded like something I would like, but I guess the moral of the story is your instinct. Your first impression is often the correct impression. I have always liked pink ground, but see, I just don't know if that is gonna work with us since we don't want to change the trim color. Testing out these paint colors got me thinking about all the paint colors I've tried in my house so far, and I realized that they're all warm colors. They're all very saturated colors, but I thought it would be fun to kind of go around and just take note of the colors that I've used in here so far and ask myself, you know, what is my palette? What is my color palette as we continue to decorate the house? I clean my house as part of my exercise routine. And sometimes I do this right after my workout when I'm still sweaty and in my workout clothes. And sometimes I do it after I'm fully dressed. Getting a workout in and also wanting to be like fully dressed for the day, I find it can be kind of a challenge, especially in the summer when our hours are a little different. But cleaning your house can be just a great part of your workout. So after I finished my ballet, I went in the bathroom and I decided to wash all the tile down, and I noticed that, okay, this is the latest room I painted, I think, and we chose a warm blue for this room, very saturated color. It's called Soldier Blue, and it's a milk paint color. I have a whole series of videos about how I painted these walls. We wanted them to look like plaster with kind of mottled and variegated color. I do love that a lot. This house has given me such a chance to be creative. My aunt, who's an interior designer, came once and she said this house is like a playground. And she's right. So it also has lots of stairs, and I consider that part of my workout too. I can run up and grab the laundry, run back down. It's better than a stair climber. So one of my favorite things is to have tasks that are like more than one thing. So I just love thinking that I'm getting a workout and I'm getting the family laundry done all at the same time. Two or more things doubling together is my favorite. And laundry is actually my favorite household duty. I don't know why I've always enjoyed laundry. I think it's because I enjoy clothes and I then enjoy taking care of them. So this morning as I was walking around and I thought I would just look at my color palette. So this room, again, I've got like this really saturated kind of orangish red. And then the laundry room has got this intense blue-green, which is, I just love all the intense blue-greens. And I'm noticing that they're everywhere, like the trim in this room, the trim in the pantry. After I cleaned the bathrooms and started some laundry, I got a shower and got into my swimsuit. I'm going to take the kids swimming this afternoon, but first I want to get dinner started in the crock pot so that when we come home, we will, we can eat right away. So I got out these leeks that I had cleaned and cut previous. These are from our garden. We grow a lot of leeks because they grow really well here and we love them. They're so good, and you can regrow the roots. So I'll cut off the roots and then my husband will take them out and replant them, and we just go on like that all summer long. So my kitchen, speaking of color palettes, so we've got the blue-green fridge, of course, and these warm, intense blue, cobalt blue curtains. And then the blue on the wall is kind of a gray blue, which I recently had a lovely commenter say that next time we painted these walls, it would be good to do like a cleaner color, like a cleaner, brighter blue green, maybe like from a Van Gogh painting, which I think is a really good point. My kitchen cupboards are Jitterbug Jade by Sherwin-Williams, which when I painted my front door Verde Gris last week, I realized is practically the same color. So I guess I really, really, really like that color. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool because this paint in the back, and the way that there's glass on the cupboard doors, and they look very similar to our front doors. So it's kind of like they're talking to each other, which I think is good. I've read that it's a good idea to have, colors, not exactly all the same, but things that relate to each other throughout your house. So accidentally, I have related all of these blue greens just because I like them, not because I planned it, but I think that has worked out well. I'm chopping up the leeks now, and I'm going to put them in my crock pot with some potatoes, also from our garden. Our potatoes are doing really well this year. A garden potato is one of my favorite things in the world. They taste so good and fresh. They're delicious. And then I'm going to put a big pork tenderloin on top of all of that and just let it cook and roast while the kids and I are having a great time at the pool. So you can see again, I have all these saturated colors behind me, red and the green on my chalkboard. I love the copper shiny things. So just as you're going about your day, look around your rooms and notice the colors that you've chosen or the colors that were there already, and whether you love them or you hate them. And just take a note of that. When I first started being a stay-at-home mom, I really didn't know what to do with myself, and I didn't think of it as like a creative job at all. I was kind of in shock that I was all of a sudden home with a baby after all of that time in high school and college preparing for a career, and then choosing to step out of that and stay home with our child. And I didn't know what to do with myself at home, and I really struggled at first. And it's taken me a lot of years to realize how your home, or my home, is such an opportunity for me to be creative and to express my personality. I think your personal style and your character really come through in how it feels to be in your home, and what your home looks like. And like my aunt came to visit. I mentioned her earlier. She's a very successful interior designer. She owns her own firm, and she was so excited to see my house, and she was like, oh, this is like a playground. This house is a playground, because meaning, there's so much work to be done and there's so many opportunities to be creative. And that's certainly true. This is a real fixer-upper of a house, and that's such an exciting thing for us. We love that. But even if you don't want a fixer-upper or live in a fixer-upper, I think every home is, you have that opportunity to for creativity, like in how you decorate. And that's only the beginning. Like, even like, I'm not the huge, like, cooking is not my passion as much as I do love to decorate. I even love to sew or even to do laundry. Cooking is not like high up on that list, but at the same time, just being able to have things on hand, have the competence to have things on hand so that I can throw some vegetables and meat into a pot and know that we're going to come home to a delicious and satisfying meal. Like, that gives its own sense of reward and contentedness and happiness. And it's a skill that I'm proud that I've mastered. And I certainly didn't start out that way in my homekeeping journey at all. But your house is, it's where you are able to be yourself most fully, and hopefully the other people in your house, it's where you can come in from the outside world, close the door, and have your private life. And the things that you do at home are going to be remembered and appreciated. And yeah, there's this sort of baseline of their Sisyphean tasks, and they can be monotonous. Like, we're human beings. We go in cycles. We and rhythms. We sleep every day. Every day we need to sleep. We need to eat. We need to keep clean. We need to get dressed. These are all like cycles and rhythms, and the household work follows those. Like, we have to clean. We have to get our clothes cleaned. They get dirty, then we have to clean them again. We have to eat, between, 1 to 2 or 3 or 4 times a day even. We go to sleep at night. We want to have clean beds, and all these things are, repetitive, and they can get monotonous, of course, and they do get monotonous. But I have found, what I'm finding now is, after almost 13 years of doing this full time, and you don't have to do it full time. Like, even if you're working outside the home, all of these things are an inescapable necessities of life for all of us. No matter what, we all have to eat and sleep and bathe and keep ourselves clean. So what I guess I'm trying to say is, or what I'm saying is, once you get a certain baseline competency, which I feel like it took me a lot of years to even just get there. I certainly knew things from watching my mom growing up, but I had to learn a lot on my own, just because it wasn't ever explicitly taught to me. I was explicitly taught other things at school that had to do with getting into college, and then having a certain kind of career that involved being at a desk and being in an office. So my home is a really different type of place. It actually requires a lot more of my mental energy and creativity. It's a different skill set, and it's taken me years to develop systems so we have a sort of baseline of all of the systems go, like the laundry system going, the food and marketing going, the dishes going, and it's a constant tweaking to keep these systems up and running. But what I have found too is that once they are up and running, you have opportunities to improvise and be a virtuosa. Kind of like once you learn some chords, basic chords. My children are doing this now. They do a piano method where they learn to play by ear, and once they have some basic chords, they're encouraged to start improvising right away. And I think homekeeping can be like that too. Like, you learn some basics, you learn some basic chords, and then you can relatively quickly start having some fun and start putting your own personal character and flair and style into it. And it is a deeply personal job. And I guess since I decided to take a look at colors this week, I've been thinking about that a lot. And I just want to encourage you all too to go around your house as you're doing your jobs and think about the colors that you've chosen and why, and ask yourself, why did you choose those? Or why do you like them? Maybe put together a little board of all the colors that you like. You learn something about yourself. So I love these warm, saturated colors for the most part. Now, this is our master bedroom, and we have this wallpaper, which I love. the former owners put it up. It's kind of a bunch of browns and creams, and it's great for a master because it's not overly feminine. And then recently I got these Turkish towels. So this is kind of a change of subject, but our towels are really worn out. We have had the same towel since we were married, and I think after 10 years or so, it's time to get new towels. They're just falling into holes. And for some reason, I was really interested in trying these Turkish towels. I can't remember how I got interested in them to begin with, but I decided to go ahead. I ordered these from Amazon. They're from a company called Lane Linen, and I've had them for a few weeks now. I bought all gray towels for our house. They're these extra large beach towels. Actually, it started because we needed new beach towels, and I bought some green ones of these to be beach towels for the summertime because they were a really great price. They were about $5 a towel. And then I loved them so much, and my husband did too, that we started talking about getting them for the house. And so I went ahead and ordered these for the house, and we could not be happier. It gives such a spa-like feel, and I guess the gray works really well for both bathrooms. We have a blue bathroom and we have a gray and yellow bathroom, and the gray kind of works really well with both of them. From a different company, also from Amazon, I think it was Smyrna Towels or something like that. I got these washcloths and hand towels in this beautiful green color called Petroleum. And I just love this green. It works really well in both bathrooms too, and they're really nice for hand towels and washcloths. I also got some in gray and some in black because I've been noticing that in our blue bathroom downstairs, black looks really nice with the blue, I think, anyway, and I'm really enjoying how that looks. So it has been so fun to pick out these new towels and play with these colors, and it really gives this exotic spa-like feel that I'm really enjoying in both of our bathrooms. In our upstairs bathroom, I keep my towels in this old copper wash tub that my grandfather found in the alley by his house many, many years ago, and he refurbished it, and nobody wanted it but me and the family. So I've had this for a long, long time, and it's a perfect thing to store towels in our upstairs bathroom. And I'm just thinking again about my colors. This bathroom, I did paint it, but it was just with paint that I just touched up the paint that was there. So I haven't really chosen colors for this bathroom, but I did choose the yellow and blue checkerboard hallway, which is again just more intense and vivid colors. And I guess that's what I love. I love these intense, vivid colors, and the colors are warm or cool, and I love the warm side of colors. Like this, for example, is a warm green. That those petroleum colored towels are a warm green as opposed to a cool green. I like how they hang on the towel bars. Like this washcloth here is just hanging there to dry, and I used to hate looking at the washcloths hanging there when we had our terry towels, but this one I think just looks sort of sweet and quaint hanging there. It looks so vintage to me. I love it. I love it. And these are the ones that I got for the pool. I wanted to get two very different colors because the ones we take out to the pool and the beach take a lot, they get beat up a lot more. So I wanted to make sure we had very different colors. And again, I'm noticing more saturated color in my hallway, that yellow and the green and white. And then this is my down bath, which has this really warm blue ceiling. And I love how the gray looks against all of the blue in here. And I love how these black rugs look on the floor. I originally had them upstairs in the upstairs bath with my yellow and white tile, but I moved them down here just because I noticed one day someone put one in here by mistake, and I noticed how much I liked it. So I moved them both down here. And these are the kind of things that bring me a lot of just it's like small quotidian pleasures, daily tiny little things that make your life beautiful and make you happy. I love how the black towels look. I love how they look hanging there on our old vintage sink. I think they add to the vintage charm. And every time I come in here, it's just a good feeling. And that's my goal with the house, is I want myself and everyone else who comes in here to have a good feeling and to enjoy the small, tiny things of daily life. One small, tiny thing of daily life I've reintroduced lately is making baguettes. I recently got a baguette pan, which I've never had before, and I'm so happy with it. I have made artisan bread in 5 minutes a day for many, many years. I've tried to get into the sourdough thing, but it's just a bridge too far for me right now. My kids don't like sourdough, and I find it a little more complex, but this artisan bread in 5 minutes a day book I do love, and I'll mix up their master recipe. And recently I've been making baguettes daily. Try not to eat a lot of bread around here, but just to have a tiny bit of it on hand I think is sort of realistic, because when we don't, we end up eating a lot of crackers. So I'd rather make these baguettes, and I got out the book again to try to relearn and perfect my shaping technique. I would love to be able to make bakery quality baguettes, and that's just something I'd like to do, for fun. It's something I'm working on, and hope I'll slowly build up the skill. These aren't perfect, but the next ones will be better. And that's the thing that I've learned over all these years of homekeeping, is it can be quite incremental, but little by little you develop some really fun skills. I milk painted my boys' room, and now I can milk. I couldn't paint a room when I moved into this house, and now I can use these sort of difficult to handle paints with ease, and I love the result. Again, another warm blue. And I also painted my husband's office with these beautiful Sherwin-Williams paints. This is like the darkest and moodiest room in our house. It's kind of I guess this would be more of a cool dark green, and then there's like this warm green on the walls. So I guess what I've concluded is that I love bold and saturated colors, not necessarily moody, but more warm and cheerful. And I would like to encourage you to just, as you go about your home this week, just think about the colors that you've chosen and why. It's kind of a fun personality quiz that you can just give yourself. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video and my thoughts about homekeeping. I would love to hear your stories about how you gained homekeeping skills, or how you felt about it when you first started, or if you're just starting out, how you're feeling about it now. When I was first starting out as a homekeeper, I felt very much confused and very much alone, and I would love for this channel to be a place where you could come and, we could get together and do this thing together and talk about these things together.